Welcome to What's Viral Today. Get ready for a whirlwind tour of the latest buzz in politics and sports. From game-changing political maneuvers to jaw-dropping sports highlights, we've got it all covered. Don't miss a beat. Subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay in the loop with the most viral stories from around the world. Let's jump right into today's electrifying updates. The United States found itself embroiled in controversy over the Trump administration's aggressive deportation policies. The Justice Department faced intense scrutiny after refusing to answer a federal judge's questions regarding deportation flights to El Salvador. Their justification? National security concerns. This lack of transparency fueled further public outcry and raised serious questions about the administration's commitment to the rule of law. Over 200 migrants were deported, including individuals accused of gang affiliation, despite a court order halting such actions. The situation escalated as a Justice Department lawyer refused to reveal details about the deportation flights. This refusal to cooperate with a court order sparked outrage and accusations of a constitutional crisis in the making. Adding fuel to the fire, an analysis of flight data revealed inconsistencies between the administration's claims and the actual movements of the planes involved. None of the 3 planes in question landed in El Salvador before the judge's order, and one even departed after the written order was issued. These discrepancies further undermined the administration's credibility and deepened the sense of unease across the nation. Tom Homan, a staunch advocate for President Trump's immigration policies, remained defiant in the face of mounting legal pressure. As the administration's border czar, Homan publicly declared that deportations would continue despite the court order. His defiance further inflamed tensions and raised questions about the executive branch's respect for judicial authority. Adding to the chorus of dissenting voices, Attorney General Pam Bondi publicly criticized the judge for meddling in matters of national security. Her comments, perceived by many as an attempt to undermine the judiciary, only served to intensify the growing constitutional concerns surrounding the administration's actions. Meanwhile, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt maintained that the administration had followed the letter of the law. She argued that they had adhered to the written court order despite the earlier verbal order issued by the judge. This defense, however, did little to quell the controversy. Critics pointed out that the timing of the flights and the administration's refusal to cooperate with the court suggested a deliberate attempt to circumvent the law. The deportation controversy exposed a deep rift in American society, with one side applauding the administration's tough stance on immigration, and the other condemning it as cruel and inhumane. The deportation controversy was not the only issue plaguing the Trump administration. In a move that stunned many, Department of Government efficiency officials, accompanied by law enforcement, evicted staff from the U.S. Institute of Peace. This congressionally chartered nonprofit organization, dedicated to promoting peace-building efforts around the world, found itself in the crosshairs of the Trump administration's push to shrink the federal government. The institute argued that President Trump lacked the authority to dismantle it, setting the stage for a legal battle over executive power and congressional intent. The administration's disregard for established institutions extended to the Environmental Protection Agency. In a controversial move, the EPA announced plans to eliminate its scientific research arm, the Office of Research and Development. This decision would result in the dismissal of up to 1,155 scientists and weaken the agency's ability to study and address environmental threats. Critics argued that this move, driven by a desire to shrink the federal workforce and budget, would have dire consequences for public health and environmental protection. The events of recent days have shaken the foundations of American democracy. From the deportation controversy to the eviction of the U.S. Institute of Peace and the dismantling of the EPA's scientific research arm, the Trump administration has shown a blatant disregard for the rule of law, the importance of diplomacy, and the value of scientific evidence. We, the American people, cannot stand idly by as our nation's core values are eroded. We must hold our elected officials accountable for their actions and demand transparency, integrity, and a commitment to the common good. The future of our democracy depends on it. What are your thoughts on the Trump administration's recent actions? Share your opinions in the comments below and let your voice be heard. And don't forget to subscribe to stay informed and engaged in the fight for our nation's future.